Welcome to this Sunday's Gospel Reflection. Well, the Pharisees showed that coin to Jesus to tempt him and trap him. And he asked them this question: whose face is on that coin? In other words, everything depends from which side you look at it. Every coin, every reality that is in our life story, always has two sides. The two sides of the same coin. Well, and I imagine that I'm comparing those two sides to our body and our spirit. How hard it is to accept that these are not just two realities sitting side by side or one inside the other. These realities are two sides of the same reality, the divine and human nature of who we are, our body and our spirit, God and us. In our poverty and our smallness, we often stick to the side that we can see, what we can touch, the body, the material things. That is Caesar. Caesar symbolizes the temporal, the material side of life, the bread and butter side, if you want. What shall I eat? How can I survive? What we call the essentials: food, health, money, comfort, pleasure. It's the economy, politics, taxes, and tax evasion, of course, armies, policing, shopping, supermarkets. It's what we need for our poor bodily existence to survive. Is this good? Is this bad? Well, it can be both, depending on what we do with it. Of course, there is nothing wrong with buying, cooking, eating, voting, saving. The problem starts when we think that that is all there is, that life is just about survival of the fittest, of the strongest, the luckiest. This is Caesar. But there is another side of the coin of life. Jesus says, what does it profit a person to gain the whole world and then lose his soul? Well, all the comforts, riches, power, food, status by themselves cannot and will not save a person from the deepest of all miseries, despair in our hearts. For all these things to be of any value whatsoever, the person needs to have a meaningful life, a life with meaning. The soul of a person is the meaningfulness of that person's life. It's not enough to have all that you need to live if you want to survive. If you do not have a reason that gives meaning to your life. Some call it purpose, others call it a sense in life, others simply call it God. This is the other side of the human coin. What gives meaningfulness to our day-to-day life? It's not so much what we eat, but the joy of having someone with whom to share what we eat. It's not so much a healthy body, but it is the sheer happiness of sharing our life with someone we love, a beloved friend. It's not so much the money or possessions we have, but the joy of sharing and giving it. At the end of the day, what counts most is not surviving, but living a full and meaningful life. And Jesus said, for this I came, that they may have life and life to the full, not just a little bit of life, but the fullness of life. Life is real and is full only when it is lovingly shared and given. This is God. He is the love that is the source and ultimate purpose of why we are living, our existence. There is only one coin, even though it has two sides. No, there is no heaven and no earth. No, these are not two separate places or states. They are two sides of the same existence. There are no two lives before and the one after death. There is only one life with the two sides, the here and now of today and the promised gift of tomorrow. We are not just a body and a spirit. They are two sides of the same coin. They are me, body and spirit. Me and you, we are not just two. I am here and you are there. No. We are two beautiful brothers or sisters enjoying the love of our same Father in Jesus, our elder brother. To give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar is to stop seeing Caesar as some kind of power above or beyond us who is sucking our money, our taxes, our energy, our resources. And giving to Caesar what belongs to Caesar is simply acknowledging and respecting our bodily and material needs. Yes, these are not our enemies, but just a part of who we are. They are simply our fragile and limited human condition, which needs attention, loving care, maintenance, so that our body and the material world will serve us and help us to discover and become our real selves. Work is not a punishment. Work is a way for us to be creative or to give service to one another. Money is not the God that will solve our inner despair or satisfy our greed. It is simply a convenient help to live and give life to those we love. Our body is not some toy to be decorated, painted over, clothed in color and flashy fashion, showed off or exploited, just as an exciting source of pleasure. Our body is our open window on the world and our means to reach out to our neighbors in a supportive and sustaining, loving communion. This is the other side of a very precious golden coin. Then, the side of the coin that gives it its real value is something different, and yet one with the other side. If Caesar is the material side of the coin, God is the spiritual side of the coin. What Jesus is telling us is to be humble and simple enough to take good and loving care of this poor and needy Caesar within us, not because he is so powerful that he enslaves and dominates our existence, but because he is the servant who can help the other side, the spiritual side of the coin, to grow and give meaning to our whole and entire existence. Let us give to our body and material side of life what it needs, what it requires, but without allowing it to oppress, dominate, and control us. As cruel Caesar oppressed and exploited his conquered subjects in the time of Jesus. Let us give a chance to the Spirit of God to grow, to transform our bodies, all created things, into meaningful ways for us to become the gift of love that God wants us to be for those around us. Yes, we are the coin. Both sides of this coin are important and essential. We need to give to Caesar what belongs to Caesar and to God what belongs to God. Caesar must not become the false god. He needs to be and remain the good and faithful servant, and the servant of God's own Spirit, who alone gives meaning and purpose to our lives. Let us not separate the two sides of the same coin, but let us be just as careful not to confuse them. We are indeed one coin, but with distinct and yet meaningful two sides. If we keep them together, we will not only survive our existence, we will experience and enjoy the real life that God's Spirit has created us for in Jesus. It is this that makes us fully human and fully divine. We'll discover that on one side of the coin there is imprinted the face of God, whilst on the other side of the same coin there is our own face, the human face, and the face of our neighbor, deeply engraved on that side of the coin. Then we will discover that this precious coin will help us to pay the dues and taxes of life's demands. But the same golden coin will be also the most precious gift of God, who is the beginning and the end of our life. God bless you.